Hi, Franklin.
Hi,
How are you doing?
I'm fine, thank you.
Great to have you in. Let's hang
Thank
on a
you.
bit. Yeah, let's hang on a bit for the rest of the gangs.
Okay.
Hey, founders, this will be the time to switch on your cameras. So good, good day, everybody. Welcome to today's session, which is the investors review session, investors progress review session. This session is FI's final check before graduation. Founders will need to score as much as 3.0 in order to pass beyond this point. The investors are basically the gatekeepers, and we've gotten a team of mentors on the call to evaluate our founders. The evaluation for these founders will be based on three areas: the progress of their product offering, the skills of their presentation, and then the completeness of their model. We expect the mentors who are our panelists and our investors for today to score the founders in line with these three industry areas. We'll be creating two breakout rooms. One will take care of, we'll have four investors and 8 founders in each of those rooms. And before I go on, I'd like to apologize on behalf of Ajuma Ataguba, the MD of the Abuja chapter. Sadly, she won't be able to make it today. She got under the weather, so apologies on her behalf. And so we'll move on. I'll go straight to introducing our mentors for today. We've got a whole team of them, 8 in all. Let me start with Chintan. Chintan Oza is the founding and managing partner of Anatan Ecosystem. Anatan Ecosystem is an emerging early-stage consulting firm specializing in pre-seed and pre-series A startups. Chintan, a regular mentor for the Abuja cohort. Welcome, sir. And also we have one of our very, very regular mentors, Bade Aluko, is a managing partner of White Hibiscus Capital. White Hibiscus Capital is a VC firm registered in the Silicon Valley and operating within the African continent and outside. Welcome on board, Bade Aluko. Thank you, sir. And also we have Lavina Ramikusen, an AI ethics and technology policy person from the African Union. Lavina has been with us in the Abuja chapter in several cohorts. Lavina, welcome today. And then we have Nadia Arbana, the Senior Director of Product and Business Development of Alata Life Sciences. Lavina is one of our, also one of our wonderful mentors on the cohort, and all of these mentors are award-winning mentors. Then we have Bite Odune, is a founder and managing partner of ODBA. ODBA is an early-stage VC firm that invests in innovative founders with transformative ideas. Bite, welcome tonight. And then Ifat Mahmood. Ifat is a regional representative for Africa for the Innovations Consulting, a private consulting firm operating all globally and with a presence in Nigeria and Africa. Ifat has always been one of our mentors, and we welcome you. And we have Franklin Ngatsop, is a co-founder of Vitamins C and S Coaching. Franklin is also mentoring with some other foundations like Tony Elumelu and others. Welcome on board, Franklin. He's also been a mentor for this cohort. Thank you so much for being here. Then we have Adiza Magoro. She's a CEO and co-founder of Koya Capital. Koya Capital is a human capital development startup which strives to harness technology to grow and improve both the quality and relevance of Africa's human capital. Adiza, welcome to the call. Adiza has also been a mentor with the FI Abuja chapter. So everyone, welcome on board. Mentors, we're so grateful to have you on board. We'll be moving straight on, but I would like to just give us, a little briefing. Now we'll be having 2 breakout rooms. Founders, there'll be 8 founders paired with 4 mentors, and you are to score them in 3 areas. 1, the progress of their product offering. 2, the skill of their presentation. 3, the completeness of their model. Now, the scoring is 1, 2, 4, and 5. No middle point. 1, 2, 4, and 5. We know the drill. I'm just emphasizing 1, 2, 4, and 5. The founders will be expected to pitch for 5 minutes. Now, for sake of time, we want to request that we'll get one. I know you've received the founder mentor allocation. You just give them feedback briefly. I want to plead that we don't make it a question and answer session, so we don't drag things on for so long. So just give them feedback and then we'll move on. And also, I'll be in one of the breakout rooms while Catherine will be in the other breakout room. For those who are just joining, apologies. Ajuma is under the weather. She won't be able to join us. Catherine will be in the other breakout room for timing and also for some coordination. So I see all our wonderful mentors on board. Let me run down again. Franklin, great to have you. Bade, we're great to have you in. Adiza, Chintan, wonderful to have you guys. Lavina, thank you so much. Ifat, it's great to have you guys here. So we'll be moving on to the breakout rooms immediately so we can, some quality sessions. We'll be having breakout rooms 1 and 2. And please, aside giving feedback on those 3, you could, all mentors are expected to give ratings for all of the founders. Even when you don't give feedback to a particular founder, you're expected to give to rate them. And the rating link has been provided to us, the hot seat rating link. Please, when you go there, kindly remember it's the Abuja Spring 2024. And of course, you include your name. And then please don't forget, it's the Investor Progress Review, not any of the other 2 options. There's a 3rd option, the Investor Progress Review, and then you select the founder which you want to rate and then rate. Just for backup, Catherine and I will be requesting to know what your rating is on those 3 areas. So just so that we just have that on record in case anything goes wrong, not as though anything will go wrong. So thank you, guys. We'll move on to the breakout room immediately. Thank you so much. Catherine, can you take us into the breakout room? Okay, so please, let's just join the rooms as well. The pop-up is out there now just for us to join. Thank you.
Okay, good afternoon, everyone. Can everybody hear me?
Yes.
Okay,
Okay.
so welcome once again. Just like Mr. Shegun said, so we'll be using the main room as one of the groups. So this will be Group A, and we'll get right to it. So we'll begin with Abdul Jalal. Is he on the call? Mr. Abdul Jalal Abubakar.
Yes.
Okay. So just give me a minute to time you. You'll be pitching for 5 minutes, and we'll be getting feedback from Mrs. Hadiza Magoro. So just give me a second. Okay, are you ready?
All right, I believe I'm ready. Let me share my screen. Can you see my screen?
Okay.
Yes.
Yes. And
You can?
oh, yes, we can.
Yes.
Oh, okay, lovely.
So you can begin now.
All right, Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Good afternoon. My name is Abdul Jalal Abubakar. I am the co-founder of Simply Finance. Our mission is to streamline business operations to help grow efficiently and sustainably. The reason we're doing this, we've come to understand that businesses, especially medium and large-scale enterprises, they have complexity in their operations due to their large amount of data they have. So it doesn't allow them to make proper data-driven decisions. This risk, right, leads to the following. The first is cash flow problems, which could lead to outright failure. The second is operational efficiencies, which will also impact their revenue and growth. The third is due to all these delays and due to all these pieces of information on their clients, it will also lead to payment delays, which would disrupt financial planning, impacting their revenue and straining their business relationships. The last is task management, right, which will also lead to inefficiencies, impacting their revenue and growth. So what we are doing at Simply Finance, we are helping these companies gather this data through our platform that will streamline their business operations by making by automating their financial management, enhancing their operational efficiencies and task management. What that means is with our platform, we'll help you make better data-driven decisions and automate some of your tasks. Now, the market size, we believe that the total addressable market is at least 32.3 billion, with an available market of at least 10 billion, and we hope to obtain 500 million and above of that market. Now, the competitive landscape, what makes us different is we are implementing AI. It might not be unique, but we want to be subtle with it, because we all know AI is the new fad, and rather than imposing the AI, we are implying it. So we are building a companion for these businesses to streamline their workflows. And these are the other competitor lists. Now, our go-to-market strategy, we are at MVP stage, and we'll be rolling our beta shortly. By 2026, using the data we've gathered through our customers, we'll refine the platform, and we expect user growth by 2027. How we aim to make money, as I said, we also have financial management, so we'll take transaction fees out of that. And the platform will be SaaS-based, which means that depending on the tier and the scale of the business, we'll charge you accordingly per month. The traction we've had, we've received some funding from a foundation, sum of 50,000 naira. I know it's not small, but it has been able to let us go this far. And the next is the closed beta, which we hope to release by the end of the month. We have a growing user list of at least 20, and we'll aim to onboard them to work with them for the next 3 months. Our ask is the sum of 100,000. However, we aim to raise it in stages. The first is 20,000 the next 4 months to allow us work on our closed beta. Using the proceeds of the closed beta, right, we aim to raise another 40,000. That makes it 60, right? During that stage is for marketing, and we'll be working with the public, and we go on from there. The team consists of I am my CTO. He has experience in AI and tech. So he handles the tech aspect, while I handle the marketing and the leads, right? Through my connections and by talking to industry experts, I've been able to grow a user list of at least 20. And we are still growing. Thank you very much for your time. I hope to discuss with you shortly. And as I said, we aim to streamline business finances for sustainable growth. Thank you.
Great, thank you very much, Mr. Abdul. Finished in 4 minutes. So please, we're going to get feedback from Mrs. Hadiza.
Okay, can everyone hear me okay?
Yes, we can, ma'am.
All right, good afternoon, everyone. And congratulations to all the founders for making it this far. I hope you've taken a moment to pat yourselves on the back, because this is an achievement. You are the final 16, right? So I can see a few people smiling. So please acknowledge that and all the hard work that you've put in. It obviously is paying off. So well done. So Abdul Jalal, thank you for your presentation. And just wanted to give you some insight. Hopefully they will carry you along the journey in a positive way. So I think on your presentation side, you were calm and you were within time, which that says that you not only value the time of the audience, but also that you are quite efficient with the content that you have. So I just wanted to get some more information about when you say about Simplify Finance, right? For me, I didn't quite get exactly who you are targeting this at. So can you just share it with me with an example? So what I like to use is when I speak to people, I say, explain it to me as if I'm a 5-year-old.
Oh, all right. So
Okay.
in that case, right? Yeah, okay, then that's fine. So in that case, the MVP that I'm working on is targeted towards services. So let me give you, for example, a travel agency, right? They have a lot of clients, right, to book maybe travel gigs or whatnot. Or let me use your business, for example. I believe you're in consulting, right?
Let's say I am. Go ahead. Yes.
Okay, let's assume you're in consulting, right? You have a lot of customers. You have a lot of customers. You have a lot of clients. You have a team of at least maybe 15 or 20, right? So some businesses, for example, they can't handle all these tasks at once. So what we are doing, right, with our tools is we help you streamline it. So let's say ABC comes to you that, oh, we want to see how best we can grow. You can allocate resources accordingly based off the clients. So for 15 clients, you have 20 teams. You can distribute them 2 teams per client and allocate resources based off these teams. So that's how, so not only automate that for you, but also set timelines for you, the company, because you have someone to account to. So we're just helping you improve your operations, right? Based off that, you know that, oh, we've met these milestones, you will inform your client, though, you know, and the work goes on. So that's how we aim to streamline the workflows.
All right. Okay. So I think hopefully you've taken the point that I was trying to make here. It always helps to use an example that is relatable with your audience and very simple, because then they will remember it. Okay. So that's the first point. Second point I wanted to make here is that you mentioned that you have established a user list.
Yeah.
Or you have a list of users that you've already potential customers, I would assume.
Yes. Yes.
Okay. So can you give us an indication of what industries those customers are in?
Yeah, they are most like about a third of them are contractors. So mostly government contractors. We also have creatives, like those that have tech businesses or creative agencies, like the maybe marketing agency, for example. So that's the reason why we've done this beta accordingly, because from the user list, right, we've noted that a bunch of them are in the services area between creatives and contracting. So we are tailoring this product for them initially.
Okay, all right. So that who your target, I know you mentioned your total addressable market, etc., but your target market, specifically the industries that was omitted in your presentation, I think that would have also helped to add more color to the actual presentation. The fact that you've been able to raise some funding is something that's commendable, because I'm in that business. I know how difficult it is to raise capital, right? So again, that's well done to you. You mentioned that you've raised, was it 50,000?
Yeah, Naira. So that is like
Naira.
close, yeah, less than $50, but it's something.
It's still something. Yes, exactly. And because it adds to your experience. Now, how you're actually going to, you're asking for 100,000, what's the currency? Dollars.
Dollars.
Okay. Yeah. All right. So with that, the amount of funding that you're seeking, I know that you shared a diagram or a chart that says this is how you're actually planning on using the funds. So I think as an investor, I would, if I look at all your slides, that is something that one slide I would say is quite key to me, because then that's going to tell me a lot about whether you have a clear idea of what your runway is going to look like, how far in the future or short in the future you or near in the future rather, that you've actually planned. So that's really the feedback I'd like to share with you, and I don't take up more time. But I think overall, I think there's some areas that you need to work on. But again, congratulations on where you've actually come to at this stage.
Thank
and
you.
That's it from my side.
All right, no problem. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Mrs. Hadiza. Thank you, Abdul. So investors, please, a reminder, you can feel free to drop in your chats or your comments in the chat box, and also the rating link has been sent to you in the chat as well. So you can put your ratings in. So quickly, we'll move on to the next founder to pitch for the day. Mr. Christopher Maman, are you on the call?
Yes, ma'am.
Christopher Maman? Okay. So we'll be getting feedback from Mr. Bade. Mr. Chris, are you ready?
Not quite. I'm trying to share my screen.
Okay.
Okay. My screen? Can you see my screen? Hello?
Yeah, we can, but I think your screen is duplicated. It's showing the Zoom call, not your presentation.
Okay. Can you see it now?
Not yet. Not yet.
What's happening? Okay, let me start again. Okay. Can you see my screen now? Can you see my screen now?
Yes, we can.
Yeah.
Okay, so ready when you are.
Okay, can you hear me very well? Can you see my screen?
Yes, yes. So you can start now.
Okay. Okay. Hi, my name is Chris Maman. I'm the founder of Trickle. Trickle is a banking app for tenants and target savers. It makes saving and spending easy and effortless so they can achieve their financial target without stress. Over 60% of tenants in Nigeria struggle to meet up their rental payment consistently despite significant daily spending. This has led to over 2 million households in Nigeria facing eviction annually due to rental default. All these are caused by poor saving habits and scarcity of efficient and effective management tools, as existing platforms require users to have manual discipline enough to save manually and then be able to, at most, set up periodic, weekly, or monthly deposit from their accounts, thereby making savings inconsistent. That's why we developed Trickle. Trickle is an AI-driven mobile banking app that saves a fraction of everyday transaction automatically and manages the user's finances seamlessly using the power of artificial intelligence. It takes from every transaction, send notification to the user when they overspend or when they are going outside their budget. This makes saving effortless and consistent and bring efficiency to finance management, also bring financial stability for tenants and target savers. Our user-friendly mobile app and debit card makes spending, saving, earning, and budgeting simple and effortless. With over 60 million tenants in Nigeria and the Nigerian urbanization growing at 4% plus every year, our market is large and juicy. We address a 700 billion opportunity within a $400 billion market. The 400 billion being the total amount of money that was processed last year from 11 billion e-transaction according to NIPS. And so looking at just 2% initial penetration, our SOM is $14 million. We make money by charging transaction fee, 0.7% on all outbound payments, and 2 to 5% on bills and utility. We have launched the pilot phase here in Abuja, which is a closed loop system. And we got 1,100 users sign up within 3 months and raised $500 in revenue. Now we've established partnership with a microfinance bank to help us roll out the open loop version that will see our card and our app work with the Nigerian banking system, ATM, POS, from bank to bank. We are projecting to acquire 70,000 users in year 1 and grow it to 6 million in year 5. This will see our revenue grow from $840K in year 1 up to $72 million in year 5. To achieve this, we intend to acquire customers using online and offline channels, especially social media, SUE, and affiliate marketing. Yes, we have competitors, but we stand out with our automated saving from all transactions, our user programmable card and app, our niche focused on rent and target savers, our spend to earn reward system, and our AI-driven personal finance management tools. I have a team that can deliver this. This is my third startup and with a lot of experience. My CFO has over 10 years experience in the bank. She has a background in accounting. My CTO is our tech whiz kid that has done several such projects. And my COO, Jerry, has worked with me in the previous startup and also founded a previous startup himself also. So he comes to a lot of experience also. So we are a bunch of experience and passion. We are seeking 65K in funding to launch our open loop version and achieve an initial milestone of 10K MRR in the first 3 months, after which we will require under 65 and 200K to achieve 70K MRR in month 12, where we hope to acquire our seed fund of 2 million that will see us grow our MRR to 300K in month 30, where we'll be doing our Series A. This fund we're seeking for right now, the 65K, will be applied towards marketing and publicity to grow our user base, operational expenditures, product development. We are making savings and finance management effortless so that everyone in Nigeria and Africa can achieve financial stability without stress. Please join us on this journey. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Chris. Right on time, 4 minutes, 30 seconds. So please, can we get feedback from Mr. Badi?
All right, good afternoon. Chris, thanks for your presentation. Your presentation is clear and you handle the presentation very well.
Thank you, sir.
Your deck is also clearer, and you touch on the points that you need to touch on in a 5 minutes presentation. Now, those are the good points, right? This session is to give you both the good and the bad so that you can improve. Now, the bad is that the business that you're doing is a conventional business for almost all the fintech out there. There's nothing different in what you say, all right? What one can say appears to be a difference is that you tend to focus on this particular segment, all right, which in itself creates some form of excitement for me when I first started hearing you. But then there is nothing you say that was specific to that segment. If you say you want to focus on that segment, then you must be doing something different to that segment that other players are not doing. And please, it's not going to be that I'm using AI to, those are just jargons, right? Specifically, if I am a renter today in Nigeria, what will make me go to you rather than go to all the other guys that are playing? And there are plenty of them in the market, plenty, both from you said traditional bank, let's even leave traditional bank. If you look at fintechs, almost every fintech is doing some form of either savings or payments, okay? So if I were you, I would go back and think about how can I add value to these guys that make them see me different from the other people. That's what you need. That's your key default area. The idea is good. I can tell you for a fact that that segment needs a real value add for them to get value because it's a major problem. Rent payments in Nigeria is a major problem. I have seen so many pitches and nobody has been able to crack it. If you can go back and think further with your team on how can we give value to this guy, such that when everybody that is renting an apartment, a house, will look at us as a potential partner. And it's not just going to be on savings and compulsory and payment management, which is what you say you are doing. That is not going to crack that because there's nothing that makes you different. So that's an area that I want you to go and think about critically. Your financial projection on the face of it looks nice, but you also know that a projection is major success is customer acquisition. All right. Again, like I said before, if you're focusing on that market, if you are able to give a value add to that market, then acquiring customer is easier because then you just go to specific aggregators who can give those customers to you to onboard. And because you already provided them something unique that nobody else is doing, then the ability to come onto your platform becomes easier. Because I haven't seen that uniqueness in that, you're going to have a major challenge in acquiring customer. And if you have a major challenge in acquiring customer, then you can never beat those numbers that you put up. So I want you to go and focus on what is unique that you are adding to that segment. It's a good segment, and it's a segment that requires what's the word now? Disruption. That my segment requires disruption because almost every Nigerian has that problem. The guys at the lower cadre, even the rich men, those guys that are renting houses in Victoria, they all have rent problem. All right, you haven't cracked that particular problem. What you have put together now, in my opinion, is auxiliary services, value-added services. That's not the unique value that segment needs. You need to go and think about it, and if you crack it, I'm sure you would be a game changer in that industry. All the best.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir.
Okay. Thank you, sir. Thank you, Mr. Chris Maman. So quickly, we're moving on to the next founder to pitch. Ms. Oyemani Odo, are you ready? Oyemani Odo, are you ready? Ms. Oyemani Odo, are you ready? Okay, we'll move quickly to the next and you're ready? Okay. Okay, so we'll be getting feedback from Mr. Chintan. So we'll just wait for you to share your screen, and then we can begin.
Okay.
Okay, we can begin now.
Okay. Okay, good afternoon. My name is Onyemani Odo. I'm sorry.
Okay, are you ready?
Yes, I'm ready.
Okay, we
Sorry.
can begin.
Okay. My name is Onyemani Odo, founder of Amani Fresh World Limited. We offer curated, durable, natural makeup and skin prep products that can withstand Africa's hot weather. Our vision is to be the leading provider of natural makeup, lightweight makeup products and services for women of color. Our estimated customer acquisition per year is 7,500 with breakdown of 3 months, the first 3 months, and then 6 months and 3 months, where we acquire 1,500 customers for the first 3 months and 5,500 customers for the next 6 months and 2,500 customers for the third 3 months, the last 3 months. The problem space here, according to Nairametrics, 85% of African women do not achieve enhanced natural finish look because of unavailability of natural lightweight makeup products. The solution we are providing is curate a selection of natural lightweight makeup products and skin prep products that would enable our customers achieve a natural finish look. We have a wide range of products curated natural skin prep products from moisturizing primers, hydrating primer, exfoliator, and also makeup products. We have foundation, powder, concealers. Out of 1,000 customers we have worked with, 80% of them are satisfied with the natural finish look achieved. Our business model is the B2B and B2C business model. We generate revenue from partnering with beauty stores, beauty influencers, makeup studios, and also paid subscription and consulting and training, and also makeup services rendered. Our team consists of Onyemani Odo, founder, Amani Fresh World Limited, with over a decade of experience in the beauty industry, and also Emmanuel Odo, co-founder with experience in marketing and business development. We are seeking 50 million to achieve our target of 151.2 million revenue in 3 years. Thank you for your attention.
Thank you, Ms. Oyemani. That was quick. So we'll get feedback from Mr. Chintan.
Onyemani, I hope I am pronouncing your name correctly. So why are you smiling now? Why didn't you smile when you were presenting? You are doing a good job. You should feel good about what you are doing, right? Why you are smiling now? I want you to smile. Wear that smile while you are presenting. Present it with confidence, right? You are having a product in your hand. You are having traction. You are having real customers, right? There are people who are having their product only in PowerPoint as on date in this review also. You are having a bottle which you can sell. So feel good about it. You are doing good job. Present it with smile. Present it with confidence. Adjust your camera so that at least it should your shoulder and your camera should look properly. It is not in the right what you call position right now. So your presentation style is good. Your time is good. Probably there was certain still there was some time which was left. We have 5 minute presentation and you wrapped it up too shortly. So you missed a chance to impress the investor. So make sure that you utilize full time and also rehearse what you are presenting. Right? You should not be fumbling at all because if you fumble, we get to know that how many times you have presented. You are not familiar with Zoom. You are trying to figure out how do I share my screen. That reflects that investor quickly gauge that how many investors you have done and all. Other part, your GTM has to be absolutely super crystal clear. And this is what I'm going to ask, and this is what I'm going to achieve. Right? You are giving explanation of 7,500 customers. It's fine, but then uh, spending more time may not be needed, right? So try to achieve that. You're doing a good job, so stick to it and then present it with a smile. There is good room for you to explain and create a fear of missing out in investors' mind and show them the future growth of next 18 months, what we are going to elevate. Apart from this, what is your say in the game? Establish that. If you are a chemistry graduate or if you were working in some cosmetic company earlier, what is your say in the game? I mean, I couldn't establish that connect that why on your money? Are you an e-commerce expert? Are you a makeup expert? Are you a chemical expert? Are you a supply chain expert? What expertise you bring in the game? That itself is missing. So start with establishing your say in the game. Are we good? Say yes.
I'm sorry, I didn't get your last question. I could barely
I did
hear
not
you.
ask any question. I mentioned that what is your say in the game? Why only money? Why makeup? Why online marketplace? What is it that what your expertise is? Are you expert in manufacturing makeup? Do you have a family business? Are you a supermodel? Are you a e-commerce expert? What is it that you bring in the game? How you are relevant to this startup that you need to establish in the very first 15 seconds. For example, you can say that having spent 12 years in cosmetic industry and as I retired as vice president or when I left my last corporate job, I was vice president with so and so cosmetic company. That gives me a clear cut understanding that yes, you are capable as and when the business gets scaled up, you are capable to lead this. In this storyline, you need to establish your relevance in the game. Make sure you do that. Right? While you are sharing the problem statement, you are sharing the solution. But what do you bring on the table? If I, as an investor, if I had to invest into some startup, why you? I would better give it to someone who is already making money. you that confidence that you have the capability, you understand the business, and you have relevant experience. Are we good? I need that smile when you present, that confidence, that authority, there, right?
Yes.
Right.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, sir. Thank you, Imani. So quickly on to the next founder, Mr. Emmanuel Edivi. Are you ready?
Yes, give me a moment. Let me set up my screen.
Okay, we'll be getting feedback from Mr. Bade.
Mhm.
Are you ready?
Um, Yes, I am.
Okay, so you can begin now.
Good morning. I'm Emmanuel Idili, co-founder of ChangeApp, a cash to digital payment solution that allows merchants to give customers digital change from cash transactions. In the US alone, $15 billion in loose change is dispensed annually, creating inconvenience for consumers and costing retailers billions in change orders and cash register management. Research by Square shows that there's a $3 billion cost that is associated with change orders and a $6 billion cost associated with merchants opening their cash registers before making any sale. ChangeApp transforms physical change into digital change, integrating seamlessly with existing POS systems like Clover, Verifone. This not only simplifies transactions, but also reduces the $3 billion cost associated with change orders and the $6 billion cost associated with opening cash registers. ChangeApp also helps consumers save their loose change and secure a fast experience for consumers and a strong return on investment for merchants. The market potential is significant. Our total addressable market is 505 million, which is 1.5% fee on 42 billion in annual change dispensed. Our serviceable addressable market is 209 million, which is 1.5% fee on 17 billion change by Gen Zs and millennials. And our serviceable obtainable market is 10 million, which is 5% of our serviceable addressable market. 61% of Gen Zs are still open to using cash for transactions, according to the Deloitte research. Additionally, US customers used cash for 19% of all payments in 2024, as per the Diary of Consumer Choice. This highlights the ongoing need for innovative solutions like ChangeApp. Our revenue comes from a $5 monthly subscription fee for merchants, consumer transaction fee of 1.5%, and translating to 2 million annual revenue, and a discount on gift cards revenue model. For 3 months from April 2023, we processed over $35,000 in transaction value, onboarded 85 merchants and 450 users. And are in partnership talks with Visa, Clover, and Verifone. We've also integrated with Cross River Bank. ChangeApp competes with Acorns, Cash App, and PayPal by offering a unique cash to digital payment method, easing cash register management for merchants and eliminating physical change for consumers. Our go-to-market strategy centers around partnering with Cross River Bank to leverage their extensive network and secure financial infrastructure, integrating with Verifone and Clover to ensure seamless adoption by merchants, and targeting sales to large and mid-sized retail chains to drive widespread adoption our nationwide search engine optimization and social media campaigns to build brand awareness. We're also doing a promotional giveaways like 2 months free subscriptions to incentivize early adopters. We're also airing on Fox 5 News to reach new customers in the Washington, D.C., Maryland, and Virginia area. This is my second startup as a co-founder, focusing on business strategy and CEO. Our team includes experts like Chidam Okwe, who's a co-founder, CTO, with over 20 years experience in infrastructure implementation and technology planning, with roles at CNN and Boeing. Abdul Balogun, who's a founding partner, extensive experience in business and technology transformation. He is a former vice president at American Express. And Afua Jimmy, who's an investment strategist with over 22 years in mergers and acquisitions, and with experience at Barclays, Deutsche Bank, BlackRock, and Goldman Sachs. We are raising $500,000 to reach over 100,000 active users per month with an ARR of $2 million. The funds will be used as follows: product development, which is 40%, enhancing and scaling the Change App platform; marketing and sales, 30%, which nationwide SEO, social media campaigns, and promotional giveaways. And then our operations is 20%, which is expanding operational capacity and support; compliance and legal, 10%, ensuring adherence to regulations and legal requirements. We've also raised over $400,000 from friends and family and angel investors, allowing us to successfully go through compliance and due diligence, integrate with Cross River Bank, launch our application on both Google and Apple Play stores, and increase our operational capacity. Thank you for your time, and I'm happy to answer any questions. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Thank you. So we'll get feedback from Mr. Bade.
All right. Thanks, Emmanuel, for your presentation. Moderator, please permit me to ask a few questions because I need to ask those questions to get a perspective on what is doing. This is definitely a product targeting the US market. Is that correct?
Correct.
Why are you in an African cohort?
Because I was approached by Lady A, and she told me that I could still go through the course here.
All right. Okay. Your presentation has clarity of voice. The content of your slide is also good, but I expect you by now to know how to handle slides properly. For example, your slide should be on presentation mode. Okay. That's something you should learn by now. It's distracting the way you move your slide forward. Onto the content of the slide, the business idea itself, you supported your idea with statistics. Unfortunately, you did not quote the source of those statistics, but if I give you benefit of that and assume that those statistics are correct, I fail to see how a VC will be interested in the business that appear to be dying, actually, because every year, decade on decade, the push is to move away from cash payments. And since you are handling not just cash payment, in fact, you're not handling cash payment, you're handling the residual value of exchange, all right, in that cash payment. And you are charging the merchant $5 for them not to dispense cash change. I fail to see how the business itself can propel a growth, because at the end of the day, a VC-backed investment is not just that it is possible, but that it is possible and has a high potential for growth that it can scale using technology. The whole concept makes sense, all right, rather than giving cash changes, rather than opening and closing your dispensers, you pass the change onto an application that the user can then use somewhere else. It's a good model. I like it, but I'm not convinced that the market is huge enough to sustain a VC growth. I would like to have a session with you during the office hour to discuss more on that. The second part is you talked about the competition, right? but you didn't tell us how you are better than the competition. I think that would also help, because if there is competition in this, what you're trying to do already, apart from the traditional cash dispensing, all right, but those who are avoiding the use of cash as an exchange, sorry, as a return after the process of purchase and cash, I think if there are players already in that market, then telling us how you are better than them, because you are both going after the same market share, which, like I said, by my own understanding and opinion, and I do have extensive understanding of the American system because I live there as well. I can tell you that if that is reducing the market potential, then it becomes a source of concern. So you have a lot to prove to us as an investor, to let us know that this market that you have seen, all right, this is where its growth potential is, and this is why. And you must be able to tell us how the changes in the market dynamics, moving from cash to non-cash payment, help, or how you circumvent that and still be able to give something meaningful to as a return to the investor. So those are my key questions and my key concerns about the whole idea.
Thank you.
Okay. Thank you, sir. Thank you, Mr. Emmanuel. Okay, so quickly on to the next person. Mr. Suleiman Durojai, are you ready?
Yes, I am. Good afternoon, Catherine.
Good afternoon. So we'll be getting feedback from Mrs. Hadiza. You're ready when you are, Mr. Suleiman.
Okay. Okay, so I'm ready.
Okay, you can begin now.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Sulaiman Durojai. I'm the founder of Thrifto. Thrifto is bringing guarantee to the traditional Ajo group savings. We are solving the problem of incomplete and delayed lump sum payouts, thus turning group savings into a reliable and effective method of raising bulk money. We are starting with one customer, which is salary earners in Nigeria, and we are narrowing down to the top 100 organizations, their employees. The problem, as we see it, is that in traditional Ajo group savings, some members default in remitting their contributions, some delay, and then some send in incomplete amounts. And all of that leads to incomplete and delayed lump sum payouts. What's our solution? Our solution has 4 components: automation of contributions, short micro loans for those whose salary will be delayed, or anytime salaries are delayed, we offer short loans for them. And then we have a rating system to help us weed out those who are unreliable and also help us in scheduling our payouts slots. And then we're going to use direct debit to recover our short loans. I'm the founder. I have a programming school in Lagos, and I am the Django and I'm the Python Django instructor. I'm the editor. I'm a former editor of the national newspaper in Nigeria. I'm a member of the Nigerian Guild of Editors. I've been a web consultant for 15 years. I started a dating site 2 years before Facebook launched, and I sustained it for 11 years bootstrapping. I have stamina and I have tenacity. My co-founder is a former managing director of one of the companies in the Dangote Group, a chartered accountant, a fellow of ICANN, who spent 17 years in the Unilever Group. We estimate that there are 2.1 billion salary earners worldwide, and 40 million are in Nigeria. And at any point in time, 60% of salary earners have a need to raise bulk money, either to pay rent, to pay school fees, for investment, and for other purposes. And on the basis of that, we estimate our TAM to be $15.5 billion, our SAM to be $9.5 billion, and our serviceable obtaining market to be $186.2 million. We have direct and indirect competitors. Some of our direct competitors include Ajo Money, Susu Box, and Matun Time. And we have analyzed, we have done analysis based on certain metrics like small loans, automated savings, and all of that. But none of them has guaranteed timely payouts. It's only Crypto that has that. So that's our differentiator. We have indirect competitors, which includes PiggyVest, Cowrywise, Box, and even the banks who have target savings. But none of them has guaranteed timely payouts. And the indirect competitors are not doing group savings as such. Our go-to-market strategy starts with a landing page, which we have already created, which we have already built. We are going to optimize it to generate a waiting list. We are going to use word of mouth with friends, asking friends, family members, former colleagues, former classmates to help us spread the word. We are going to use social media for marketing using Twitter, Instagram, WhatsApp, and TikTok. And we are going to partner with organizations like cooperative societies that have similar objectives like us. We have already incorporated, we have done comprehensive customer interviews. We know our customers very well. We have built a landing page that we are using to generate a waiting list. We have done minimum viable tests. We are testing our minimum viable products right now, and we have set a target of August 19 to go live with our MVP. Our revenue model, we are going to be charging 3% of transaction fee on payouts. We are going to be charging 10% interest on the short loans that we offer, and we are going to charge $1.3 as an annual membership fee. Thrifto is going to be a community of people collaborating and supporting each other on the path to financial success. That's why we have a membership fee. We're asking for $150,000 to onboard 400,000 members in 18 months and reach an annual recurring revenue of $2.3 million. And we are spent of the $150,000, we are spending $52,000 on product development. We are spending $45,000.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Suleiman. Your time is up. That's 5 minutes. So we'll be getting feedback from Ms. Hadiza.
Okay, Suleiman, thank you for the presentation. It's a pity that it was cut short. So I think some feedback, as I said, you know, you've come a long way on this journey, in this cohort, so to speak. You're the final 16. So it's disappointing to see spelling errors in the presentation, okay? Especially when you have means to prevent that. The quality of your presentation is a representation of your brand as an individual and your ability to look at things over and over and over again, okay? So that's just one point. I think in general, I'm going to give you feedback as well as the other founders, right? When you are pitching as an investor, it's not necessarily the content obviously makes it's important. It's material to what you're saying, right? And you're giving guidance about the type of topics that you should cover. But as an investor, what am I looking for? I'm looking for you to appeal to me, to my head, my mind, and my heart in your product or service or whatever it is that you're actually pitching, right? Because the two come together. The financial side will come from the head, and the heart is why? What is the good? What is the benefit? What is the value add? Is it to society? How are you helping? Are you helping this generation leapfrog or deal with challenges that have been taking place for a while? What is the actual, what is the calling card from a heart point of view? Then tell a story. And I said that as well with the first founder who pitched. It helps to land a message when you tell a story, especially where as an investor, I'm having to listen to you, I'm having to look at your slides, I'm having to filter the content all at the same time. If you're able to string a story of one persona and walk us through that journey of that individual using your product, it lands it beautifully. Okay. Then presentation skills, very, very important. Whether you like it or not, you're a salesperson, you're selling, right? We are the people as investors having to buy. So what you have to offer. My fellow mentors on the call have given you you and your colleagues feedback, right? So if I look at your background right now, you have, maybe you can prevent it, but there's a light behind you that it's a bit distracting. Your posture, you're not sitting up straight, you know, give confidence to what it is that you are saying and what you're actually communicating to your audience. Smile. When you smile, you not only make yourself at ease, you make everybody else at ease as well. It's difficult to be angry or to critique someone who is smiling. Okay? All right? Then ultimately, your objective is to pique the interest of the investor. For me to say, I don't fully understand everything, but I like what I heard or I liked what I saw. And so I want to have a follow-on conversation with this individual to unpack it. That is the objective. The objective is not for you to get your $200,000 now or $50,000 now, okay? Because that is a journey in itself. So I just want to remind all the founders here, I just want to share these key principles, right? Because they're quite key. And I'm saying this from experience because even me, as part of establishing a venture capital fund, I have been in your shoes, okay? And the investors have also given me feedback. So I'm also sharing the same feedback with you. There's some key things. So remember, the main thing here is to pique the interest of the investor so that the investor says, I want to have a follow-on conversation with Suleiman, even if I don't understand everything. Okay, so just general feedback on that. As I mentioned, you know, your presentation, what I found, there are a couple of gaps, right? So let's address those gaps. What were those gaps for me? You mentioned the competition that is there, and then you undersold yourself. I saw a lot of green ticks for your company and your product offering, but you sort of, you didn't say, this is why we're unique. This is why we're better, specifically, right? And that is what is important. Also, when you have a slide that is quite busy, like what you have, right? What is the key thing you want me to see? Circle it, put it in a different color, you know, call my attention to it. So that when I'm looking at the slide, my focus is on that and not trying to figure out what it is that you want me, Suleiman, to focus on in that presentation. Okay, now, what is your product? Is it a website? Is it an app? Is it a service? That wasn't clear to me. And I'm going to wrap up by saying again, for something like this, imagine that you're talking to a 5-year-old. So the jargon has its place. And believe me, as investors, we hear it all the time. And I'm not going to speak for everybody else, but sometimes I just wish someone would just speak to me in plain English, simple terms, and say, I'm doing A, B, C, D, and it's going to equal X. Okay, so that is the feedback that I'm sharing with you and the rest of the founders on the call. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, ma'am. Thank you. We're going to the next founder, Mr. Joel Okakpi. Mr. Joel Okakpi, are you ready?
Yes, I'm ready. Good afternoon, everyone.
Okay.
Give me a second.
We'll be getting feedback from Mr. Chintan.
Okay, can I start now?
Okay, yes, you can begin.
All right, good afternoon, everyone. Thank you for spending time to come through my deck. My name is Joel Okpapi, and I'm the founder of Creative. Imagine you've been invited as a freelance photographer to cover the just concluded Ojodu Oba Festival in Ogun State. And a day before the festival, you discover that you have a missing lens that you would need to capture wide-angle pictures. This is where Creative comes in. Creative is a unified marketplace for creative professionals to manage equipment transactions effortlessly. So I'm talking about photographers, I'm talking about videographers, and I'm talking about digital content creators. So what is the problem I'm trying to solve? Currently, the marketplace that we have is hugely fragmented. So for creatives to get equipment, they have to go to different platforms, say like Jumia, say like Konga, or even WhatsApp at some point. There are also social marketplaces like Facebook Marketplace too for them to get it. But what Creative is doing is unifying all of these platforms into one place to make it easy for professional photographers or videographers or content creators to have access to quality equipment, to have access to also efficient deals, because our deals are going to be well priced. So what we are doing is we're going to help you save time, because it's time consuming going to different platforms to get all of this equipment. We're going to help you improve your productivity. The time you would have spent on going through different platforms, you can focus it on creative and you get what you want quickly. We're also going to help you get better deals, because we are going to interface with our vendors, and we are going to ensure that we price every equipment that comes on the platform for our customers to get easy access to. Okay, so far from our market research, we've gotten 60% interest from the guys that we reached out to, and they're interested in a platform like Creative. Also from our pre-launch initiatives, we've gotten 70% respondents that have mentioned that they really don't have that time to go through these different platforms to get what they want. Also, we've reached out to 4 vendors. They are actually on ground right now, and they are willing to come on board with us once we go live. We have a waitlist also that's gotten over 250 inputs, and it's also growing every day. Our business model is two-faced. We have transaction fees for customers, and we have subscription fees for vendors. And we are looking at charging 10% for our transaction fee models. And for vendors, we are going to still agree on what works best for them. For our CAC, we are looking at $2.5 per customers, assuming we have a $2,500 budget, and we are trying to acquire 1,000 customers. Our lifetime value is from 4,800. Imagining that we are going with, you are getting $200 from every customer over 24 months. That's 2 years. The market we are trying to target is a $2 trillion market, and this data is gotten from IFC. It's a World Bank initiative and subsidiary. And what we are targeting specifically is the $2 million, which is our sum in Nigeria. And hopefully we are going to kick off with Abuja and Lagos. What is our unique selling point? Why are we even in this market with all e-commerce players around? What we are bringing is our focus on the creative industry. Like I mentioned at the start, right now, creatives have to go to 2 different platforms in order to get the equipment that they need. But with creative, everything is sorted for you. So you can focus on what you need to get more creative. So typical example is a centralized platform. We have equipment variety. We have a community support. Creatives don't work in isolation. They work as a community. So we are bringing this to make our offering better. We have a user-friendly interface. We have customer service, and we also have rental or swap options. And this we are going to develop along the way. Our go-to-market strategy, we are going to use digital campaigns. We are going to use networking and partnerships, and we're also going to use content marketing. Currently, I'm the only one on my team, but I am looking at getting a CTO. I'm also looking at getting a CMO and also a COO to kick off properly. I'm asking for $10,000 to push out my MVP, to also get my market research done, and also set my marketing and pre-launch, and also get some key hires like customer support agents to start up eventually. Thank you for listening.
Okay, thank you, Joel. So we're going to get feedback from Mr. Chintan.
Yeah, Joel, nice presentation. You were also serious. I want you to present with confidence and smile. You're doing a good job. Couple of good things in your presentation. But I'm still a bit confused. You are going to sell equipment, or you are going to provide it on rental? What is it that you are going to do? Because that is something which is not clear. And then who on the planet shares competition in this fashion, where everywhere it is, you are making my life miserable. I read customer service everywhere, and then you're saying it's a competition. I mean, don't be so creative. We are actually traditional people. Investors are used to look at certain things in certain fashion. If you are not able to convey the right message at the very first instance, then it may misfire. So, I mean, and this is not the way to present competition. However, next slide, I like the uh, GTM, wherein you have specifically mentioned that how would you gain your first 1,000 customers, right? But then everything collapsed when you said, "Oh, I need $10,000 to prepare my Vita and my initial fraction and hire a couple of people and all." So that is something that is opposite direction statements. So if you would like to, revise it and then at what stage of development you are, because now if you are asking something for product development itself, which you have explained, then in this review at this milestone, we expect you to show some demonstrable product, some prop has to be there in your hand. We are chasing you, we are running with you just to make sure that you launch your product maximum in 1 month time after you graduate, not after 3 years, right? So I couldn't see any screenshots, any wireframes of what is it that you are visualizing. Everything is good, but then where is the product? What is it that you are going to sell? Where these 250 signups, which is the side they are signing up? Show me those things, flaunt it. If you are doing a good job, flaunt it. Where is it? Where these 250 people have signed up? Through WhatsApp? How they have signed up? Do you have this creative.ng? Is it operational or it's just an email? What is it? Please tell me.
Sorry, Chintan, I can hardly hear you. Have to lean towards my speaker to hear.
Then you should have told me earlier. You are listening to me 2 minutes and now you are making me repeat entire thing.
I'm sorry. I'm really
This is
sorry.
very smart. This is very smart. If you're not able to hear me, you should have pointed me in next 10 seconds itself.
I'm sorry.
So I really like your smile and thank you so much. I wouldn't like to repeat myself. I wish you all the best.
Thank you, Chintan. I appreciate it.
Mhm.
All right. Thank you, Mr. Chentan. Thank you, Joel. So we're supposed to let one more person pitch, Chioma, but I think she's a bit under the weather. So we'll just wait for the others to join in. They're almost done as well.
Yeah, if we are done, then I need some time to address all the founders over here.
Yes, please go ahead, sir.
All right. So, guys, you're doing good job, but except Emmanuel and Chris, none of you have got a background, a Zoom background. Start wearing your logo on your sleeve. Start flaunting your brand. It takes 10 minutes to create a background on Canva for a Zoom background. Start flaunting your logo. Please make sure you do that. Attend various events. Be in the industry. Be known to certain things. Like, I mean, I want Onyemani to be known as an expert in cosmetics, right? If you continue to sit in your home and you don't engage with people, industry people, market, potential customers, then it won't happen. Please continue to share. Have your work group calls and then keep on pitching to each other and then make sure that you give minimum 3 mistakes to your friend so that you are alert and then you should point out 3 mistakes to the person. It would help you smoothen your pitch. Keep networking. Use LinkedIn. Network with fellow entrepreneurs across the globe in your similar domain, right? Because when people search you on LinkedIn, you should be well connected. Maintain the momentum. Yes, once the review is over, it's time to celebrate. But Make sure that the war resumes tomorrow at 8 a.m. Build visibility. Start posting, update your LinkedIn profile with name of your company, declare yourself you are founder, co-founder, whatever it is. Book office hours with each and every mentor, and then see if you do not get support, reach out to the leadership, and then make sure you have office hour with everyone. Rehearse your pitch like your prayer. Musicians, sportsmen, they rehearse their art of their sport for 4 to 6 hours every day. The footballers play football, they don't play the football once a week. Musicians keep on rehearsing their instrument or they sing. Swimmers, they keep on swimming every day for hours together. You need to make sure that you master your pitch. Please start rehearsing twice or thrice a day until you graduate. Revisit all assignments once again. This is the right time because when you started, there was certain thought process which was not so clear, and then you answered those vision and mission answers. This weekend would be a great time to revisit all the questions what you answered and then do necessary picking that would register the progress once again, and it would help you revise the entire curriculum. And last thing, as I told Onyemani, wear your confidence, wear your smile, right? Present with authority. You are the one who is the master of what you're doing, right? So do that. I'm glad that none of you has noted down anything which helps me ensure my job. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Okay, I
Yes.
just saw Nadia join in a couple of minutes ago. So Nadia, can you hear me?
I was listening.
Hi, Nadia. Okay, so
How are
we're
you?
waiting. I'm good. We're waiting for the other group. So would you like to say anything or add to what Mr. Chintan said? I think she's frozen. Okay.
Okay. If I may add to the wise words that Chintan also shared, is that we're obviously giving some prep as investors to look at the different information of the various founders, right? And I was curious to see those that have a LinkedIn profile and those that do not. Okay. In today's world, and I do acknowledge and recognize because I'm not one to flaunt myself on social media or different platforms. But today, it's a necessity if in the professional world for you and a means for you to be able to reach to a target audience that was not in the past available to us as individuals. So I encourage you all to at least make sure you have a LinkedIn profile, and not just any type of LinkedIn profile. Please make sure it's relevant to what it is that you are doing. Make sure it is up to date. If you're following certain individuals, right, then make sure that it's aligned to what it is you want to do. So that takes me back to, why do you have a LinkedIn profile? So have an objective for that is linked to your product or service or company. Have a plan, have a strategy. So it's not just, oh, I have a LinkedIn profile and create it. So as Mr. Chintan also said, right, have a purpose. Don't just do things for doing sake, right? You should be linked to a strategy. I like to think about it as your ultimate goal is a bell, and attached to that bell is a rope. Okay, so no matter what level of a floor of a building you're on, when you pull that rope, it will sound the bell and therefore catalyze whatever your intent is at the end of the day. So whatever you're doing, make sure that it's intentional, it's purposeful, and it's linked to your end objective. And then connect the dots in achieving that. So in addition to the homework you've been given about going back and reviewing your coursework from when you started, I would add to that, look at your LinkedIn profiles. What are you communicating? What is it saying about you? What is it saying about your company at the moment? Would you be proud of your current LinkedIn profile? I'll leave it at that.
Okay, thank you, ma'am. Thank you. Do we still have Nadia on the call?
Thank you, ma'am.
Okay, I think she's
Yeah,
having
I'm here.
network. Oh, okay, okay. So please go
Yeah.
ahead.
With the general comments?
Yes, please.
Yeah, I'll say just make sure that you listen to your pitch as if you've never ever done it before, and listen to it as if you're going to put your own money into it, and then say, is this something I would put money into? If I had 100 options or 100 investment options or 100 startups to invest in, would that be the winning one? Sometimes when you're working on your pitch so much, you don't realize that the slides don't really say, a lot of what you wanted to say. So it's important to take a step back and say, how do I convince the investor that I know what I'm doing and I have a path forward and I will get the revenue or the customer segment that I'm aiming at. And you have to also think from the perspective of the investor. They have different opportunities, different startups that are pitching to them. So you really have to perfect your message, also in line with what my colleagues have said. You have to be very clear. You have to challenge yourself and ask in how many ways this can fail. You have to think of at least 10 ways that my project will fail. And then you start thinking, how will I make it better? Okay, I can mitigate this because I'm gonna partner with this. I'm gonna mitigate this. I'm gonna lower the cost or make the product match the customer needs more. I'm gonna talk to people. You have to really think about it strongly. I was on the phone talking to a colleague in the space, and I said, startups, we sometimes forget that the odds are against us as startup founders, right? The odds are not with us. The odds are against us. It's like a 90% chance of failure within, I don't remember, 2 years or 3 years or something. You have to remember that this number was based out of ecosystems that are developed, Western. These are not African ecosystems. These are not areas where that there are challenges, regulatory challenges, for instance, or implementation challenges. So this number is optimistic. This 5% chance of survival in a startup space, or 1% chance that you're gonna make it big, that's an optimistic number. Okay, so you in the startup space are running against the odds. You have to really optimize and get the advice and listen to as many people and thoughts and perfect your message to get that top 1%. And so whenever you hear those numbers, it's real. Some founders start and they're unable to continue, and not because it didn't rain money on us, but because the journey is tough. And so you really have to perfect and optimize every single element of the work. From, like my colleague said, LinkedIn and networking, to challenge yourself and challenge the project and understand, why are you actually doing this? And is my product, is my position strong enough to actually win an investment? So I'll pause there.
Okay, thank you, Nadia. So the other group is back in the room, so I would quickly hand over to Mr. Shego. Welcome back, sir.
Okay. Thank you very much, mentors. Thank you for the great feedback. Thank you, founders. You also did good. I don't know how the room went in the other room, but I'm sure it was good. So we want to do something before we move on. I know we all had to, give feedback to one person or two people each. I'm sure we just have, a summary charge for this guys. So, Catherine, I don't know whether you did that here, but I want the chat to be something where every founder will have an opportunity to hear this mentor speak generally about them all. So I don't know, for the 8 mentors in the room, if we could do 2 minutes each, so we could,
So just to point out, yes, we've done that. I think
okay, you've done that.
Apart from Mr. Badi, yes. So we've had a charge from Ms. Nadia, Ms. Hadiza, Tintan. So just Mr. Badi.
Okay, so great. That means the others will get that from the. So we'll do Mr. Badi and the other 4 mentors, the other 4 mentors in my room. So, Mr. Badi, sir.
All right. First of all, I'd like to say a big well done to every founder. It is not easy to be a founder. Let's understand that for one. It is easier for you to go and get a regular day job and do your 8 to 5, but being a founder is a special skill. Because it's a special skill, it also means that you have to do more than the normal regular guy. So the first thing I want you to learn is how to develop a thick skin. When you go to listen to mentors or investors and they critique you, take it with good faith, because they are only trying to help you get better. And there's always a room for getting better. So learn to develop a thick skin. Second, an idea is not good enough. An idea has to be developed into something that someone out there is willing to exchange his or her money for. Until that idea becomes something that somebody is willing to pay for, it is nothing. And when you look at the venture capital space or the startup ecosystem, the critical difference between a startup and an SME is that with a startup, your idea has to use technology to scale exponentially. You can run a small bakery where you, or in fact, even you can run a small trading business where you're collecting bread from the bakery and you're selling it in your neighborhood, and it's giving you enough money to sustain your family. That is not a startup. All right? The startup will be how you are going to collect that bread and use technology to distribute it across multiple locations effectively, that you can continue to gain location as you move along. So you're in Ikeja or Akran, but you are selling that same bread to somebody that is in Accra, Lagos, Accra, Ghana, using technology. That is the difference between an SME and a startup. So when you're in this ecosystem and you're talking about startup, you must look at how can this idea scale exponentially using technology. How can this idea give value or product to somebody or service to somebody, and that person is willing to pay me money for it? And when you're on that journey, it is extremely very important for you to ask yourself, what is it that uniquely make me qualify to be doing this? It's not enough that you dream about that idea and some bell rang in your head. But once you've had that idea, assemble a team that are qualified. You cannot be doing financing without a finance background. And please, always remember, ability to program is not the same thing as an expert in that in a field. Because you are a good programmer does not mean you're a good finance person. So if you want to be in the business of payments, loans, or deposits, you need to have a requisite experience in the finance industry, because that's how we investors are going to take you seriously. So experience is important. If you don't have the experience, you can always bring people who can share your vision with you, who have the experience to work on that with you. And the last point that I want to make, raising money is difficult. Let nobody confuses you. It's extremely difficult to raise money. The first rule about raising money is ask yourself, if I were the person that this person has pitched to, will I put my money in it? So if you know you cannot put your money in it, that means something else is left to be done. Even if you know you can put your money in it, you then start asking, what is the real value that I need to show someone to show that I am qualified, I have a good idea, and I can develop a team. And this is the reason why we always expect you to do some form of bootstrapping. Put your money where your mouth is. Show me that you are ready to sacrifice your own cash in developing this idea that you have. So I'll just leave it there. That you got to this level, it's a pat on the back for all of you. So you should be proud of what you've done. That the mentors all throughout from beginning to this point and the visiting investors criticizes you, it's a good thing. Just go back, look at all the things they said and see how you can improve, how you can add the things they said onto your pitch. Such that even when you yourself look at the time you joined this program to where you are now and to the end of the project, you will have seen a very major shift in how much better you have become. And it will be because the program allows people to tell you, to share their ideas with you and to critique you. So please, I wish you all the best. Create a thick skin. It's very, very important. You cannot have an emotion, you cannot be an emotional wreck. Each time somebody talks to you, get offended. Don't get offended, because you will see a lot of, it's nice now, the mentors are nice. When you get to looking for money, investors are not nice, all right? They don't say, oh, that's a good presentation. No, they go back right ahead to kill you. And you must be attentively listening, taking the emotions away and picking the substance of what they are saying so that you can be prepared for the next speech. I wish you all the best.
Thank you very much, Bade. So from Bade, it says, give yourself a pat in the back. So please, you guys, just give yourself a pat in the back. Okay, Ifat, so let's get some, some summary from Ifat, some chart for you guys. We'll do Ifat, and then we'll do Ifat, then Lavina, then Bite, and then Franklin. So Ifat, Lavina, Bite, and Franklin. I think Lavina is still in. Okay, so in that order. Thank you.
All right, thank you so much. It's always a pleasure to be here, to be honest. And the reason is that there are so many challenges in each sector that we are all part of that are not being solved. And to actually see that there are intelligent and well-rounded individuals working hard to solve those problems is incredible. Second, it's incredible because we get to invest, right? We actually get to look at products, invest in them, and make it a reality, which is very important. So for example, for me, I was very excited to see 2 products today, right, in my room that are directly related to making my life easier as a consulting firm. So thank you so much for this opportunity as well. I think I echo what Dr. Badi has said. Take it openly, make sure that you're taking every feedback very seriously, work on it, and be very neutral. So whenever you're assessing your product, become the mentor yourself and look at the product and say, does it really solve a problem, or is there something that I'm exaggerating here and there, right? You don't have to impress anybody. It just has to work. As long as it works, as long as it is solving a real problem, you're on your way to success. So thank you so much for the opportunity once again, and good luck.
Okay, it's Lavina. Is Lavina still in the room? Okay, so we'll do Franklin.
Yep. Okay, so thank you very much. So for me, giving maybe the feedback on the investor review, I would say that when I'm reading, I'm very strict because it's money. It's money is involved. So you cannot just play with money. To produce even $1. Some spend even 1 hour or 2 hours to produce $1. So you cannot go and burn money just like that. So that's for that. That's why I just want to make sure that everything is there for you to convince the investor. So what investors are looking most of the time is they are asking themselves a great question: is why should they trust you? Why should they trust your business? That's the key question the investors are asking, and usually they want to invest in people that have great vision or great businesses. Also, we are looking also for businesses where there is a certain guarantee that they will have certain amount of revenue over time. And also, the third thing that they are looking for is for businesses where there is less risk. So it's true that most of the business have been presenting good, I would say, good businesses, good opportunities to make huge amount of money. But on most of the business model and the presentation that I've seen that all their presentation and business model, there are still a lot of risk there. So you have to de-risk your business model. So you have to reduce the level of risk in your business model. Because, for example, let's say an investor and you're asking huge amount of money, for example, $100,000, $200,000. Let's say an investor invest $100,000 in your business. Is there any guarantee will you provide them any guarantee that maybe in 1 year or 5 years or 10 years they can recover their money they have invested in your company with all the benefits? Is it possible for that? So that's why it's also important for you to make your presentation more complete by working on the risk part. So, for example, you can consider, for example, examining the exit strategy for the investors. Because if you can convince an investor that if it spends $200,000 on you or on your business is able to recover its money, even if the idea don't work, it will be great. Because usually startups are not, I would say, all the startups don't have proven business models. If they have had proven business models, we should not have called them startups but small businesses. So all the startups are still, I would say, are still testing their business model. So when you are also presenting to investors, consider a way how you can demonstrate maybe a good exit strategy. Even if the investor does not trust a lot of your idea or still have a doubt in your idea, if you show them a good exit strategy that might work. For example, if you're acquiring assets, if it's possible for you to sell those assets later and to recover the money invested, if your business is not working, it will be a great deal for the investor and can give them certain guarantee. So that's my point on that. Thank you.
Thank you there. Thank you very much. So wrap up with BT. You're muted.
Okay, can you hear me now? Well, I think everybody that has said has pretty much covered everything. I mean, as Bade said from the onset, founders. I mean, being a founder is really hard. You know, how do you keep yourself motivated, inspired? You know, while building your idea and your business. Now, our job here, right? Our word is not fine, right? You still have to go out there into the market. But what our job is to give you what we believe the market will tell you, right? To advise and guide you accordingly, right? We're not going to always say the things that you want to hear. We're going to be realistic because the market, the investors and your customers are going to be very realistic with yourself. And what I would say is, in as much as you're building these fantastic companies, you've done the really hard part by putting the companies together, throwing it out there for everybody to critique it. It's important that you're aware of, what you're going up against, because that will enable you really hone your opportunity. I'll give you an example. Last year at Odba, we received about 3,500 decks, and we made 7 investments, right? And that sort of number is very similar with a number of companies across the board. So what I'm trying to say here is I want you to be a bit more, not everyone, but I want us to be a bit more serious about the idea about our businesses. Not to say we're not being serious now, but yes, I'm sure Ajuma and Shegun, their words are always comforting, which is very important when you're building a company. But it's important and it's imperative that you understand what is out there and what you're up against. So if I look at a certain deck on something, I'm looking at a deck on that same, be it ed tech or health tech, about 15 different techs on the same opportunity. How do we pick amongst those 15 in the opportunity? So there's a lot more work, which I think we still need to do. Not all of us, and I'm not throwing shots at all of us. I'm just trying to be very clear on the level of competition that's out there. It's not just a case where I've put together my deck, I have learned how to pitch, and surely I'm going to get an investor that's going to invest, because that same investor is meeting a number of other people just like yourselves. I've listened to a number of phenomenal pitches today, a number of them which I like, a number which I think a bit more work needs to be done. But importantly, it shouldn't be that, okay, I've done everything Segun and Ajuma have told me, I've put together this deck, I must find investors, or, everything is going to fall into place. No, this is still the very, very beginning. There's still a lot that needs to be done. Now, in this, a lot that needs to be done does not mean that it's not things that you can't do. You're very, very capable. Hence why you've got this far. Hence why we're at this stage. We require that little extra, right? Your job is to convince either angel investors or venture capital investors that your idea is phenomenal and you're the best person to move that forward. It's been an absolute pleasure, as always, listening to founders that puts their ideas on the line. And I look forward to the next session where we just continue the conversation. Thank you.
Wow, thank you so much, mentors, investors. Thank you so much. It's been a wonderful session today. For the founders, this is another phase. You're moving on to the next phase. Sadly, some of us might not be crossing over, but remember, at Founder Institute, you always fail forward. So don't take it to heart. The results will be uploaded tonight, and by tomorrow morning, you guys will know those who are dropping out, those who are moving on to the next level with some injuries, and those who are moving on to the next level without injuries. So you get to see all of that. But just in rounding up, once again, want to say thank you, mentors. Thank you. You guys have been great. You've been wonderful, and we'll always love to have you. And please, apologies again for Juma's absence. Please just pray for her in your closet. She's strong though, but she's okay now, but a little bit still down. For the founders, incorporation, get your deliverables. I heard BT and a couple of mentors promise you guys office hours. Catherine will hunt them down. Are these office hours? These guys want to hear you guys talk. Please, ladies and gentlemen, mentors, please, let's get these guys talking. Talk to them on office hours. They need a little brushing. And then, so thank you for tonight's session. Mentors, founders, you would go on break after this session. We'll be reconvening 31st, right, Catherine? The next session is on the 31st of July. Am I correct?
Yes, sir.
Yes. Yeah. So we'll be reconvening on the 31st of July with the co-founder session. So please, during the break, it's a time for you'd all get your epic sprints, and those who are moving forward. So thank you very much. Thank you for all that you guys have put in, particularly for our mentors. Thank you so much. It's a wonderful time, and we look forward to having you again in the next session. Take to heart what your founders, what your mentors have, commented for you, and please, like all the mentors have echoed here, it's not an easy ride. It's bumpy, it's hard, but you make it. So thank you very much, and good day, everybody. Bye.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye.
Bye. Thank you.
Bye, everyone. Thank you.
Bye.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye, everyone.
Thank you.
Bye. Okay, ladies, another session is off. Abigail, how was it? Abigail, how was it?
Okay, sir.
You guys, let me see your pictures now. What's happening? Is there something happening there? Okay, that's better. So Abigail, it's on from here. You were in the growth for her session.